Hello boys and girls, welcome to our English lesson. I hope you guys are ready for our lesson. And today we're going to talk about degrees of adjectives. Let's go! And now, let me ask you a question. What is an adjective? Adjectives are words that describe nouns. Adjectives answer such questions as what kind, which one, how many. Adjectives have 3 degrees: the positive degree, the comparative degree, and the superlative degree. The positive degree is the normal adjective form. Positive is used to describe something. For example, Jason's backpack is really heavy. And here, heavy is an adjective in the positive degree. The comparative degree is used to compare two people, places, or things, etc. The word then typically follows the comparative form. For example, the red car is bigger than yellow car. And here, the comparative adjective is bigger. The superlative degree can be used if you are comparing 3 or more people, places, or things. For example, the heaviest backpack belongs to Luke because he never cleans it out. And the word that typically comes before the superlative form. Let's talk about rules of comparative adjectives. So here you can see some examples. The first one is incorrect, and the second one is correct. His cat is more large than my dog. This one is incorrect. And his cat is larger than my dog. It's correct one. So what makes the first example wrong and the second right? There are few rules that can explain this. For adjectives that are just one syllable, add er to the end. This explains the above example. For 2-syllable adjectives not ending in y, and for all 3 or more syllable adjectives, use the form more plus adjective. And for 2-syllable adjectives ending in y, change the y to I and add er. These simple rules that were given before make it easy to tell when you should add er or ier and when you should use more plus adjective. Let's read some examples on this slide. Some of them are correct and some of them are incorrect. Correct one: this house is more exciting than ever. And the incorrect one: this house is excitinger than ever. The second example: correct one: Mike is funnier than Isaac. And the incorrect one: Mike is more funny than Isaac. Let's repeat the simple rules of comparative adjectives. To compare 2 things, we use a comparative adjectives plus than. For example, green tea is more useful than coffee. Energy drinks give shorter effect than drinking tea. And the second one, not plus as plus adjective plus as. For example, coffee is not as useful as green tea. On this slide, we can see 2 examples, the correct one and incorrect. Let's read them. Martha is the elder of the 4 sisters. And the second one, Martha is the eldest of the 4 sisters. If there were only 2 sisters, we could use the comparative elder here. But here, there are 4 sisters. We need a superlative. In this case, we are going to use est ending to make this adjective superlative. This is the correct form of this adjective. Martha is the eldest of the 4 sisters. Remember that adjectives ending in y change their spelling when est is added. To form the superlative, change the y to an I before adding the est ending, as illustrated below. The incorrect one. That is the sleepiest puppy of the litter. And here is the correct one. That is the sleepiest puppy of the litter. And the last rules that we have to remember we can see on this slide. To express maximums or minimums, we use the plus superlative adjective. For example, you have the biggest impact on how you handle stress. Drinking coffee when feeling stressed is one of the worst ways out. To say that the two things are the same, we use as plus adjective plus as. For example, doing exercise is as good as relaxation. And now guys, let's have a practice. In the first exercise, you have to do the comparative and superlative quiz called What's the opposite of? And you have to find the opposite of given comparative adjective and superlative adjective too. Let's start now. I'm going to give you some time. Have you finished? Let's check your answers then. So the first one, the opposite of longer is shorter. The opposite of smaller is bigger. The opposite of cheaper, more expensive. The opposite of more difficult is easier. And the opposite of more is less. Superlative degree of adjectives. The opposite of shortest is the longest. The opposite of smallest is the biggest. The opposite of safest is the most dangerous. And the opposite of saddest is the funniest. And the opposite of best is the worst. And the opposite of the most is the least. So here is the second part of this quiz. And you have to find and correct the mistakes. I'm going to give you some time. Time is up. Let's check your answers all together. In the first sentence, coffee isn't as good than green tea. Here is the correct sentence will sound like coffee isn't better than the tea. The mistake were the words as good. The second sentence, your friends have the more big impact of all ways to control the stress. And here the right answer is your friends have the bigger impact of all ways to control the stress. The third sentence, energy drinks give shorter effects than green tea. This is one of the worst things you have ever tried. And the correct sentence will sound like, this is one of the worst things you have ever tried. And the mistake was the word worse. And the fifth sentence, doing sport is as effective as relaxing. Here, the mistake is the word then. And the right sentence will sound like, doing sport is as effective as relaxing. And the last sentence, it's the best way to avoid stress of the world. And this sentence is correct. There is no mistakes here. In this exercise, we have to use the comparative degree of adjectives. Here, we need to use the adjectives in the brackets. Let's look at the example. Given word in bracket is the word strong. And the full sentence will sound like, my father is stronger than Nursultan's father. I'm going to give you some time. Time is up. Let's check the answers all together. So the first adjective here is healthy. And the sentence will sound like, apples are healthier than chips. The second sentence, the adjective is expensive. And the full sentence is going to sound like, gold is more expensive than silver. And the third sentence, I am better at English than my brother. And the fourth sentence, Saykal is thinner than Yıldız. English is more difficult than Kyrgyz. Love is more important than money. The girls are smarter as boys. Math for me is easier than geography. And strawberry ice cream is tastier than cherry one. And the last one, a cup isn't bigger as a mug. And now guys, it's time to have a break. We're going to watch a video and dance. Which one is bigger, America or Russia? Russia is bigger than America. Which one is heavier, blue whale or bus? A blue whale is heavier than bus. Which one is slower, tortoise or snail? Snail is slower than tortoise. Which one is shorter, kangaroo or ostrich? A kangaroo is shorter than an ostrich. You are right. Which one is smaller, basketball or soccer ball? A soccer ball is smaller than a basketball. And here, which one is hotter? The sun is hotter than lava. Which one is more expensive, sports car or jet? A jet is more expensive than a sports car. Here, guys, your task is to use the superlative degree of adjectives. And we need to use the adjectives in the brackets. For example, the given adjectives in the bracket is curly. We need to use this word in sentence in superlative degree. For example, Gulnur has the curliest hair in my class. I'm going to give you some time. Let's go. Have you finished? Let's check your answers then. So the second sentence, Ayana is tiniest girl in my class. Timur has the most amazing smile I have ever seen. Nurjan and Bolot are the most intelligent friends I have. This year has been the best in my life. The snail is one of the slowest animals on earth. Mrs. Harris taught the noisiest class in our school. Last summer was one of the hottest I can remember. Our math teacher is the tallest of all teachers in our school. So in the next task, we need to complete the sentences with the correct adjectives, comparative or superlative. I'm going to give you some time. Have you finished? Let's check your answers then. Football is more popular in Europe. My cat is more intelligent than my dog. Playing chess is more difficult than playing Monopoly. Drinking water is healthier than drinking Coke. What's the fastest animal you know? My handwriting is more beautiful than my brother's. My mother is the most beautiful woman in the world. China is the most populated country in the world. This was our last exercise and you have done great job. And now it's time to say goodbye. Thank you for your attention. Have a nice day.